not the boss of me.
I am. Well, no, not really, but
Hello,
she's
everybody.
pestering me again.
Oh, wow. Okay. Alrighty, that wasn't true.
Well-
She's trying to boss me around. Hi, everybody.
It's us
It's us. Deborah,
and Lori. So, did you melt in the rain?
did I melt in the rain? No, I like the rain.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I do not object to the rain at all.
I know we desperately needed it, and it was nice to kind of cool down from the heat. Okay, here's a funny. I haven't done a Sam funny in a bit. This is so funny. So, we had to drop my older grandson off and Addie off in an appointment. So, I had Sam for an hour. So, I'm like, what do you want to do? And it's like pouring rain. And he's like, well, I want to go see the cows. I says, we only have an hour. We're not driving out to Abbotsford because by the time we get out there. And he goes, okay. He goes, well, can we go for Slurpees? I says, it's cold. I says, it's like, why do you want a Slurpee? What is it? He says, it's not cold, Grandma. It's warm, so we can have Slurpees. Fine. So we took him for Slurpees. And then I had to run to Walmart. And so we get out of the car and we're like right near the door. And so we just have to go from the car to the door. And the whole time we're going there, he's like, this is so cold, Grandma. And I says, well, of course it's cold. I says, that's why we shouldn't have got the Slurpees. She goes, it's not the Slurpees, Grandma. It's the rain. That's what's making it cold. I said, exactly why it was too cold for the Slurpees. He goes, no, Grandma. And then so we get in the car. We have another half an hour. I said, so what do you want to take and do now? And he goes, well, let's go for a walk. Did you not just complain that you were outside and it was too cold? And he's like, well, if we go home and get jackets and change our clothes and get bundled up. And he said, okay, but by the time we do that, it's good.
Hey, he's thinking ahead.
He's funny.
Okay. So, I am, and I want to get this done within the next month, so we're going to have to time it. My Grinch quilts.
Ooh.
I'm doing 2 Grinch quilts for my grandchildren. They each want one. And because I don't want to be the arbitrator on who gets which one, because they're different, I'm sending them to them in boxes, and they have to pick which one, and then I'm not involved with it. But one of them is using flying geese. I have never done flying geese before. This is a first for me. And it's by doing, the 4 pieces. And so at first I read through it and I went, nope, not today, and walked. And then I finally went, okay, you really have to get a handle on this. So the next time I approached it, I just took it piece by piece, because when I first looked at a quilt pattern, I mean, they're nothing like a garment pattern. And
No.
so it was like, I'm going, what? None of this makes sense, right? Like, you cut this strip and then you subcut. And that's the first time I've ever heard subcut when it came to a pattern. And so I did. I finally got them. I've got them all cut, and I've got half of them done. So I'm quite proud of myself. The points are good. So, not together, it's not onto the panel or anything like that. But you know what? I've learned a new skill. So I am proud of myself for that.
I'm trying a new skill. So I've taken on a lot of projects right now.
No, I know. I see the calendar.
Well, not just that, but there's a bunch of personal stuff that I want to finish off and do as well. And
Finish
so,
off. That isn't that good.
oh, you should see my UFOs.
Oh, that's
wait
okay.
till-
I no longer make a list. So yeah.
Okay, I'm hoping Carrie doesn't watch this, but shh, Carrie, if you are, plug your ears. So a few years ago, we're talking pre-COVID, way, way back, when I first started embroidery, because that's kind of where, I was doing other sewing, but I really kind of jumped in with both feet with embroidery. And Kimber Bell did paper piecing. We did a lot of paper piecing. And we needed a store sample for the Hoop Sisters, this one thing. And it was paper piecing. And Carrie's like, can you do the store sample? It's paper piecing. And so she says, are you comfortable with that? And I'm thinking, oh yeah, not a problem. Because I've done Kimber Bell paper piecing, and it's easy peasy. And Annette,
Not the same.
no, it's not the same. So I'm there's this big medallion in the center. And so I worked on it, and I'm not saying anti-karma words, that phrase. I'm actually saying the anti-karma words. You know, and then I get it and I piece it together and I'm like, get the medallion done, and then I go to embroider it and nothing is lining up because everything is off, and I'm like, so did the star sample get done? No, it is buried deep, deep, hidden away, never to be found again. So yeah, I have a very strong hatred for paper piecing.
Okay, we had a class in that several months back, which I took because there's a pattern I specifically want to do the atomic starburst, I think it's called.
Yeah, I know.
And so I have conquered paper piecing.
Yeah.
And I haven't done the pattern that I really wanted it for, but
I think there's so much trauma there.
and sometimes that does happen. You just kind of, or like I used to do when I didn't want to do buttonholes or zippers back when I first started sewing. And you limit yourself if you're only going to have elastic waistbands and tops that go on with no buttons. So what I did was how I worked around that is everything I made had a zipper or buttons.
See,
so that I got
works
myself
out for
past
you.
that.
That works out for you because, you know, you overcome it. For me, anytime I try to overcome something, it just gets worse. So I'm like, no.
Okay.
But I am trying something. Okay, so just quick thing. So you guys have probably seen some of my upcoming classes. I've got this one. Isn't this gorgeous?
I love
and the colors and stuff like
love the border.
We were talking about this at Kimber Bell Day, and I think I sold a lot of the fabric on Kimber Bell Day. Just, I'm not an orange person. Never have been. And so that's, I love fall. I was born in the fall, and I love all the you know, the cool weather and everything else like that, but I hate orange. And so I haven't done a lot of things for fall because it's orange. Orange and brown. But then this fabric came in, and I'm like, I love this stuff. So I did this one, and so now I'm like, ooh, I need some fall stuff. And so now I did this one too. Got a little bit of orange. This is the other class that's coming up. This is the Give Thanks Wall.
Yes.
That turned out really, really good too. So I like that one. But now I'm going to make because I loved Carol's Disappearing 9 patch.
Yes.
And so I'm going to attempt a Disappearing 9 patch little table cover because I have a square table that matches my table runner. See my little squares? Aren't they?
The colors are so lovely.
They are.
love
And
the
so
colors.
I'm going to do this. See, so there is some orange on it, so it knows it's fall, but it's more of the greens and other things. So stay tuned, and I'll show you as it goes through. But if it never makes an appearance, is because I was saying anti-karma words. And it's caused trauma again.
See, if you say those words in front of the sewing machine, you've already set yourself up for failure. You don't say that in front of the machine.
Well, no, because my machine it shouldn't be watching. Otherwise, I'm a little concerned.
No, you're missing the point. You can't set the machine up to fail.
Oh, no, I just threaten it. If it starts to mess up. See, I know it's not the machine that's failing. I know exactly who it is. Like, hello, it's me. But no, if my machine starts acting up, I threaten it. And I'm like, you don't want to make me take you to Tom's. So it's
Maybe it does want to come.
Well, the last time I brought
Apparently
it in.
we're more friendly.
Last time I brought it in, I don't know. I think Tom sweet talked it because after that I had a couple different things that were messing up, and I'm like, going, Tom, you need to be mean to it because if you're sweet talking my machine, it wants to come back and visit you. That's not working. So
I just stole her samples here.
yeah, so I got lots of stuff. So I've got those. I've got that coming on. My tree skirt. I'm finally getting to my tree skirt. So this is happening. So this is a class coming up too as well. So I've got my tree skirt coming on with my little.
Yes, look at
It's got Minky.
I know. It's so soft.
It's going to match my Minky table runner, the one that I did. class in December too as well, no, November. But it's the one from Sweet Pea, and I did that. That was a class we did a while ago, and that one was really cool. It was called the Kinky Snowman. Oh, it's funny because sent a picture to Carrie as I was working it and on it, and she sent me a text back, and she says, I really love the Kinky Snowman, and I'm like, because her phone autocorrected from Minky to Kinky. So then it became known as the Kinky Snowman because we have no life and we just find weird things funny.
We're just into this kind of stuff.
So some other
announcement.
Well,
sorry.
yeah, I got other samples.
Oh yes, right. She does.
She does.
So
these are not mine. Okay, I'm not that ambitious.
They're store samples.
Yes, store samples. So we've got the disappearing
match game.
Oh, that match game. Yes.
I Spy.
So that class is coming up, and it's fun. We were talking about it on Saturday, and there was someone's taking the class, and she's like, she's a little scared about it. Well, simply because with I Spy games or those ones, really what it is you need to let go of any thoughts.
Yeah.
You don't want to match fabrics. You don't want to match colors. You have to just let go. And so anybody who's very visual and needs that consistency or wants to know what it's going to look like at the end before they start, this could be a problem.
Yes.
So it really is. It's a fun project. And it's one you don't have to think about. You just grab and sew and grab and sew. So it's a great one to practice sewing without having to think, because you're not matching colors, you're not doing anything. And so if that is an issue that you have to know that, come to the class and just expand your horizons. If she can do flying geese, and I can, well, we're not going to talk about paper. I can do the disappearing 9-patch. You can do this.
That's right. Yeah. Try something new. Like branch out, because it just adds something to your repertoire.
Now, is this the beginner class?
Yes.
Okay, so
it is.
Sneak peek. So we have a new beginner class coming up, and this is the quilt for it. It is called
Falling Leaves.
But isn't this gorgeous?
It gorgeous?
Even though it is browns. But it is gorgeous. The sample's in the store, so you guys can come and check it out, because pictures and video just does not do it justice. No. And I can't hold it up so you guys get the whole thing, but you get an idea. So we've got that coming up. Yeah. So if you, and I'm letting you guys know now, because it is such a gorgeous one, the class is going to fill up fast.
Yes, it will.
So if this is one you want to take and do, get registered, and then if it's full, get on the waiting list so we can book another class.
We'll book another one.
Because if you wait until it's here and all that kind of stuff, then it just isn't probably going to happen.
The beginner class always fills up, and we usually have 2. We end up doing 2.
So
sets.
Get in there while you can. All right. So now we'll do announcements.
Okay. So Sit and Sew here in Surrey will be back on August the 22nd. I'm sorry, August the 12th.
Okay.
Because next Monday's stat, and so then the following Monday we're back. We have. We're always excited about new fabric.
We are. We're addicted to fabric.
New fabric in lots of Halloween and Christmas.
Okay, Christmas and Halloween. So a lot of the new Halloween stuff that came in, a lot of it is there's glow in the dark stuff.
Yes, there is. Which I would find freaky, but that's me.
Mm-hmm. I want to sew my kids' boxers or sleep shorts, glow in the dark ones for Halloween. I think it'd be fun.
Okay.
Actually, Addie, I want to sew her one that has glow in the dark spiders for pillowcase. She wouldn't know that it. Yeah, I'd have to sneak it in. She'd probably not ever speak to me or kill me, but.
And service, just to get you up to date, we're at 6 weeks still. So, because things are moving along, and we will be slowing down on the schools come September. So, if you need service, get it in, or book your same day if it's just regular maintenance. You can book same day online. So just check her out, get her in there so you can get your machines all, cleaned up for your Christmas
if you're
sewing.
doing a lot of holidays or travel over the next month, because 6 weeks from now really puts you about the middle of September.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be away and not traveling, if you're going to be away and not traveling, if you're going to be away and traveling, shush, and you're not sewing. See, I had two thoughts in my head, and they just decided to.
Whoa, really?
Here's I think.
Hey, you walked into that
I
one.
did.
I'm
So
sorry.
they commingled and became one. So if you're going to be traveling and not sewing over the course of the next month, and your machine just, even if it needs regular service or whatever, and you don't want to book it, because I think we're booking into October for same day.
The first same day opportunity is October the 23rd.
So you can bring it in, drop it off, because you're not using your machine, so it can sit here just as easy as it can sit at your
Have
house.
friends here.
And then, it can have friends, it can party, it can think it's on holidays, and then you'll get it back roughly about the beginning or middle of September when you get back into the swing of things.
Yeah.
So that works as well.
So
That's
that takes us to our topic of the day, which is scissors.
Gizzards.
We're going to
Gizzards.
We're going to talk about scissors. And I don't know about you, but I have quite a few sets of scissors, different types, just because, well, I don't know. It's just one of those things that you gradually expand what you have and what you use because you use them for different things. Or in my case, I have two different places where I do so I have sets in each section.
So it's a big topic. So
Yes,
we are
huge.
actually just going to talk about the first thing, and a question we get asked a lot is, what is the difference between fabric scissors and normal scissors? Because we know that fabric scissors cost a little bit more
Yes, they
than
do.
going into the dollar store or Walmart,
Yep.
or you can go to Costco and you get those fancy packs that's got all those different types of
Yeah,
scissors,
yeah.
and they don't ever have fabric scissors in that one. Have you noticed?
No,
But they're
no,
just
because-
they're just multi-purpose
Yeah.
scissors. So we decided today we're going to kind of share what the difference is and why you want to invest in fabric scissors.
Yes.
Now, so there's lots of information here,
Yes.
but I guess the biggest thing is, right off the top, is that there's 6 key differences between fabric scissors and
Yes,
Novers.
that's right.
Okay, so we'll kind of start there. Fabric scissors boast sharper blades than normal scissors.
Yes, they do.
And that's important because they're designed to slice through different types of textiles with precision. And they also use a heavier, more durable blade, and just the handles are more durable.
And they're made with different materials
Yeah.
than your paper scissors. Hence the difference in price.
Okay. So the first one is sharpness.
Yes.
Okay. So I know we've all, at one time or another before, we've taken just regular
Yep.
scissors and we've used those as our fabric scissors. And we sit there and say, don't touch them, they're only for fabric. Because we know once we use them for something else, like carpet,
You'd think after 40 years I'd have gotten over it, but I haven't. So.
especially like paper. So when you go and use it for paper, do you know why paper dulls them?
It's the different fibers.
The little tiny little fibers
Yeah.
take and cause little chips in the regular
Yes.
in scissors, in scissors, and that's why. So then when they're duller,
Yes. Yeah.
so fabric scissors are sharper than normal scissors, which enables them to deliver that precise cut through multiple fabric or layers.
Yes.
Because we don't necessarily do it as much with quilting because we tend to use
We
rotary,
use the rotary cutter.
rotary
usually,
cutter more
yeah.
often than not, and we very rarely
Because they're
use.
straight edges. Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't usually use a rotary cutter for paper, though I did. I had 2 different rotary cutters.
Oh, I have a paper rotary cutter at
Yeah.
home. Yeah.
But once you start going through those things, you start getting frays.
Yes.
your
Yes.
fabric.
And
And
you
once
can
fabric
tell that,
frays, then
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
keeps right on going.
Yeah. So
Okay. But the interesting thing is the sharpness of the blades is not only a matter of convenience
no.
and in that. It's a critical component for the quality of tailoring and sewing.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it gives you clean lines
Yeah.
for both the longevity of your fabric and that.
And your scissors, and it's easier to cut
Yes.
your fabric with good
Scissors.
quality, sharp
Right.
fabric scissors.
They are also they're heavy duty.
Yes, they're carbon steel as
Carbon
opposed to stainless steel.
And so the upside with that carbon steel is that it's designed to be sharpened and resharpened
Yes,
and resharpened.
Yeah.
So the carbon steel, if you're using like the stainless steel, if memory serves me correctly, like when they're sharpening it, they end up taking off more of the
Yes.
stainless steel just because it's not that strong.
No, and each time the scissors are sharpened, it obviously they're grinding away a new edge. So therefore, it is grinding away the thickness of your scissors.
And when
The
you sharpen
better
them,
quality of your scissors, the more times you can have them sharpened.
yes, because it takes
But
only a
the
little bit.
less frequently you need them sharpened.
Yes, and that's
Bear
true.
in mind as well that when it is grinding away, it will hit the tip a little bit. So a little bit of your tips on your fabric scissors will be lost. But mind you, you should never be cutting right to your tip when you're cutting your fabric. You need to stop just shy of your tip because that's when you start to get a little bit of a jagged edge when you're cutting. So it's just like right down almost to the tip and then open and go. These are good scissors, by the way. Wondering why I'm holding them? Because like they are lovely scissors, like different brands. So
There are different brands.
yes,
The handle of regular scissors and fabric scissors are also designed a little bit different.
yes. Yeah.
I forgot to grab. If you notice, fabric
See,
scissors,
fabric scissors will have
but they're also a little bit flatter here
yes.
because a lot of times you're gliding along
Yeah,
the table,
you
not
are,
grinding along the table. We don't want to know that.
No.
You're now I've got it so messed up in my head. Once it comes out wrong, that's what it does. Whereas paper scissors, because a lot of times you're holding paper in the air, so
Yes.
you're not working up against something, and so the handles go a little bit
They're
different.
rounded.
So
They're more rounded.
They are more rounded, and then fabric scissors are also I've already had trouble with this word today, ergonomic.
Yes.
There we go. We did it. So it's more comfortable. And so your hands don't get as fatigued when you are cutting.
Yeah.
those
Because
kind
when
of
you're
things.
cutting fabric for garments, you can be cutting for some time. Like, like you've laid out I don't know how everybody does it, but myself, when I'm doing, like say I was making a suit, I lay out the whole thing all at once and then I cut. So you could be cutting for quite some time, and if the handles and the scissors just aren't right, it's exhausting. You'd be surprised. And so, like really good ones, can't beat them. Or the spring ones are also helpful for once your hands, if they ever do reach that arthritic stage, because you only have to pull down, it's going to spring back on its own.
You just have to be careful because these ones, I don't know, they're not carbon steel.
No,
So those ones wouldn't be able to be.
It compensates. Like
Yeah.
it's whichever is going to be easiest at that point in time.
Yeah. Where it's, we have so much information. Normal scissors are less refined, have a less refined pit. So
Yes.
if you have to curve, sewing scissors have that ability
Yes,
to
you
to
can.
turn.
Yeah, they're just, I don't know. They're just designed it to be used for what you use them for.
Fabric scissors are also more weighty.
Yes.
And so it's not as much of your squeezing.
Yeah.
The weight of the scissors also helps slice
yes.
through
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
it makes things easier. So you don't get that frayed.
Right. Let the tool do the work.
Yes. Now, of course, fabric scissors are a little bit more pricier.
Yes, they are. Yes. But they're going to last longer.
Exactly. I know before I really understood the difference between sewing scissors and regular scissors, I would just buy new scissors when I was like Costco has, some cool deals on scissors or whatever. So I would just take those scissors right out of the package and write on it, for sewing, touch and die, and keep it in my sewing room. But I find that I've replaced them a lot because after a little bit, they're just not cutting as nice.
Yeah.
Yes, I can get them sharpened, but a lot of times when it's the stainless steel one, even after they're sharpened, it's still not as good as that nice, clear.
No.
But with the sewing ones, when they come back sharpened, they're
Right back to what they were before.
like hot knife through butter. It's
yeah, absolutely.
wonderful. So where you're saving, so you've got that initial upfront cost, but you're saving by not having to replace them as often. Actually, I'm not sure you'd have to sharpen them a lot before you get to a point where you'd have to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So you're not replacing them as often, and you're also not having to sharpen them as often.
Yeah.
So you're saving money in that way. So either at the end of the day, you're going to spend the same, if not more, on regular scissors with the amount of sharpening and replacement than what you would on your sewing scissors.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It's economical to get really good ones. Get the best you can. Get the best that you can afford. It's like with anything, any hobby or work that you do, get the best you can afford and check them out, look at them, check it out, go with what you can get.
Put them on a wish list for Christmas or your birthday.
That's right.
We think alike. That is really
Yes,
scary.
absolutely.
One of us is more scared about that thought than the other.
Yeah, I don't know which one.
So, save up for them. So if right now all you can do is just like regular scissors while you're getting started, we do what we have to get started.
Absolutely,
If it's the difference between starting quilting and not starting quilting,
Start with what you can.
start with
Yeah,
what you can,
absolutely,
and
yeah.
then you save up and you invest in things. Just like we all started off with a very basic machine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we trade up and we trade up and,
Yeah.
and then we get our dream machines.
Not yet, but I'm working on it.
The thing is, our dream machine comes and then as years go, then a new one
then
comes
there's
out.
a new one along the way. When I look at what I have now to sew with compared to what I had when I first started, it's how did I ever get anything done? But you did with what you had, and then as time passes, you start to get other things or better things, and it's just the way it works, right? If you're at it long enough, and I figure 50 plus years, yeah, that's long enough.
I think we're being watched.
Are we being watched?
There's a fabric over there with a
With
bunch of eyes, and
eyes,
it keeps
know.
getting my attention, and
I
I'm like,
want to know if that fabric, the eye fabric, is actually glow in the dark, because that would be the kicker.
oh,
Really be the kicker. All it is eyes. So if they glow in the dark, that is really freaky.
I can think of some fun stuff that I could do for the kids with that one.
I would think, it would make a good bag for trick or treat, because every time the lights.
Oh, that'd be true. That would.
Yeah. Anyway.
That would.
So I don't know whether it is or it's not. So,
Sorry, it was a squirrel moment. It just kept
exactly.
getting my attention and stuff.
There's two sets of it.
Yeah, there's the dark or the
Yeah.
black and the orange one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, I'm more into Christmas. I don't do Halloween, but
I don't mind decorating for Halloween. I think it's fun. My children are really into it. a lot?
I have never in my life decorated for Halloween.
Oh,
I
do.
have never even carved a pumpkin. All we did was trick or treat.
We carve pumpkins. We do it as a family thing in a little contest and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, but it's yucky.
Oh, I just take pictures. Everyone else
Oh,
does it.
okay.
And even when the kids were little or whatever, I still made Ramon get the good out of it, not me.
I'm not touching the gook.
No,
Sorry.
no, I don't.
No.
We don't touch the gook. I've had fun with some different activities that we've done for Halloween through the church I attend. When Addie was little, we had what we call trunk or treat, and so we decorate our cars up, and the kids would go doing that
Oh,
kind of
okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
And so it was a really cool thing. And a friend of mine, we worked together to do it because they had a motorcycle. Can't decorate the end of the motorcycle.
No.
And so I had a station wagon. So we put a sheet there and we had him sit back there and we just had his hand laying there. And so depending on the age of the kids, because we were nice. So the younger kids, they would just, get their treat or whatever. But so we had a group of kind of like smaller little kids come. And so we would sit there and say, do you want to have the hand or do you want to have the chocolate? And so they were like, oh, we want the chocolate. It's like, okay. So they would just reach in. And then we got this like little bratty kid. He's probably about 10, the know-it-all.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, and I can't remember what he was going on. Well, I know that hand's just going to grab at me, and thought he knew what was going. And so James is sitting back there behind it, and he's so funny. And so I'm like, well, do you want to reach for the candy? He goes, so I can reach for it because that hand's not going to do anything. And so he reached for it, and he's expecting the hand to grab at him and stuff like that. James shifted himself in a different way so that his other hand from the side of the thing could reach out and grab the kid's arm. Holy cow, that kid's, I think he jumped like that far off the ground and squealed like a girl.
Oh dear. Okay.
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay. All right. No. As a child, we were only allowed to trick or treat at homes that my parents knew.
Yeah.
We didn't go to strangers' homes or anything. And we lived out of town. So Dad had to drive us into town, and then he would just take us to, and generally it was people, they went to church with and things like that. And so, we didn't come home with bags and bags the way kids do today. We just
It depends.
Yeah.
See, where we live, even though we've got a couple of schools right next to us, we don't have kids that come around. We have maybe a dozen kids. And so what I take and do is I'll still buy chocolate or candy, and I'll do up little gift bags for people that I know who have young kids, and I will give that out and stuff. I find that where it used to be you'd go in your neighborhoods, now so many of them they pick the popular neighborhoods and they will drive their kids to those, and so you get swarms and swarms of kids in certain areas. My sister, she lives in southern Alberta, and the town that she lives in, there's the older part of the town and then there's the newer part of the town, and she lives in the newer part, and there's only 400 kids in that town. There's not that many, but each Halloween it's gotten to the point where now they have almost 1,000 kids that come through their neighborhood, and it's only their neighborhood. It's not the older part. All they come over to her part, and so 1,000 kids, because all the neighboring smaller towns come to the newer part. And so Karma stopped giving out candy a long time ago, and it was simply because she was giving out the treats, and she was getting attitude by some of these kids. She would go to give out the mini chocolate bars, and there was this kid who sat there and said, "This is it? What do you mean this is it? I'm
giving you something.
You need to do better. I expect full bags of chips or full chocolate bars. So you better start thinking now for next year so you do a better job next year." She had multiple kids telling her this. So you know what happened the following year?
She didn't send any?
She turned off the lights and she goes somewhere else. And she's like, and Karma loves doing things like this. She's right into it. But she said when I started getting attitude from kids, and she says, and I didn't even recognize these kids. These kids were not even from our
Yeah,
town.
exactly. It
And-
takes away from the joy if you don't know who the child is. I think that's part of the fun.
Yeah. And so, and that's, you know, so.
That's too bad because
is.
it's the expectation has definitely increased over time of how much candy or the type of candy or
So now I focus on other things at Halloween. I've got some Halloween stuff going. I got the Kimmerbell pumpkins and potions going. I got the fabric for that. Though I'm looking at some of the new stuff and I'm like going, maybe I might want to add some other stuff to it. So, because that box was not opened when I was here on Saturday.
oh
Because it had just come. And so I haven't seen some of the newer stuff. And so I'm like, so I might be doing that. So I'm having fun sewing all of this other stuff and decorating the house and still getting into the fun of it. Because it, you know, trick-or-treating isn't what it used to be.
no,
I don't
no,
have kids-
if
I don't
it's
have
going
kids
to
coming.
become how much and what you're giving them, then you've lost the
Yeah.
whole point.
But I don't get kids. I think I get, you know, probably I think I get 20, if anything.
Yeah,
So I have to focus on
takes
other
away
ways.
some of the fun.
So you know what I sew?
What?
So cinch bags. I do up little Halloween themed cinch bags, and then I fill them up and give those out to kids that I know.
The kids that you know,
'Cause they're not
that
coming to
makes
my
a
house.
difference. Yeah, they're not coming in your house.
Well, no, they don't, because they don't live next to me. So, anyways, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, this is true.
So,
Okay,
scissors. Come in, look at our scissors.
yeah, check them out.
Check.
See which ones you want.
Check out the Halloween fabric and the Christmas fabric.
The new Christmas fabric coming.
Yes.
Gingerbread men,
Come
candy
see us.
canes.
And the weather's supposed to clear up. It's supposed to be hot again this weekend. It's supposed to be hot,
I don't like
humid.
hot.
Because it's only supposed to be like 23, 24. But because we've had all this rain, now it's humid. So it's still going to feel like 30. And then we're going to get
have frizzy hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
No,
There'll be a
it's-
Halloween costume for this year. They're just starting early.
Oh, that's get back, isn't it? Okay.
All right, guys. Have fun. Stay out
Nice
of
chatting
trouble.
with you.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
If they get into trouble, they got to call me.
This is true.
I got
Okay.
any trouble.
Alrighty.
Bye.